Welcome to another episode of Prevailing Through Pain, where we are celebrating healthcare heroes. And today I am honored to have the beautiful, talented Judith Ramos. So thank you so much for being here, Judith. I know that you could have been anywhere today, but thank you for taking time to join us on Prevailing Through Pain. And so Judith is a project manager for a facility here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But Judith, we want to know about your humble beginnings, where you were born, you as a little girl, because me as a little girl, I didn't even see myself finishing high school. So to be able to finish college and to be where I am today wasn't on my radar as a little girl. So can you tell us something about you as a little girl?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first I want to say thank you for inviting me for this great episode. And I was born in Mexico in the little town Laredo, and one of the four siblings. I have three siblings.
Okay.
I am the third one, and I am. Oh my gosh.
Well, just tell me about one of the happiest times you remember as being a little girl.
I think one of the memorable time that is when I was with my dad. He's a natural leader,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember when always I join him, being with him, helping other people. One of his passions is when in Laredo we have it's like the place when many immigrants they're crossing back to Mexico from the U.S. and he created he did with my mom breakfast or making some lunch stuff for all that people that they come from different countries. And I remember in my early days when I was a little girl helping my dad to giving some food and provide them and pray for them actually, and try to make some connections with their families that they are here in another country just for they can go back to their countries.
That is awesome. So I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to ask you about a dark time that you remember as a little girl, a time that made you sad when you were young.
Wow. I think one of the things that is make me very sad is when we passing for difficult times and the family that we don't have enough money to buy food. And I remember that my mom, she has just a little kind of meat, and I know that the portion that we have was not enough for the entire family. And when she started to giving out the food, I remember that I'm asking her about what is her plate. And she say, I don't have hungry. I'm okay.
Wow.
And it's one of the very memorable time.
Yeah.
And I know that I was little, probably 9 years old when this happened. But that things touched my heart, that I promised myself and I promised them that I will provide, and I will work so hard just to provide them whatever they need, and either never miss one plate of food at home.
Wow, that touches my heart. My mom was a widow with 7 children when she was 30. And I remember when I turned 30, I've never had children, but when I turned 30, I was like, how in the world did she have 7 children, working and providing for them? And, I think I'd say the strength of our parents that we probably took for granted, and the sacrifices that they made to make sure that we had a roof over our head and food, in our stomach. So, I'm sure that you're this great person you are today because like you said, you remember the sacrifices that she made.
Exactly.
And so you made a promise to yourself.
Yes, and you know, and it's very interesting, like how I grow with Ben, because sometimes at home we don't have enough food,
Mm-hmm.
but that one they don't stop to them to help in others, because my mom always say she say if we have a food, or we have a plate for four, we have always plate for five. Like that's mean like that always she has an extra plate for somebody else in case somebody need it. And this is probably something that always I carry in myself,
Mm-hmm.
to help others.
Yeah.
Like that always, you know, looking for how can I help? How can I encourage somebody else to continue to grow in about what they want in this life?
Yeah. Okay. So take us to your early adulthood. Can you tell us a little bit about early adult?
Well, in my early career, I was working I'm gonna start like working first in my.
Okay, I'm gonna back you up a little bit. I'm saying even before that, like dating, or school, college, something before we go off into the working point of view. Something that so we get to know a little bit more about you.
Well, I think like I went to the school. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about like something about that years, that time. I get married in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I get married. I have a one boy, Hugo. He's the first one boy.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, my first husband, he's passed away. And I have like one kid he had just 1 year and 3 months when this happening. And that's one of the first, very hard time.
That would have been a hard time.
And
how old were you at this point?
23 years.
Oh yeah, that would have been. I think at any age to lose a loved one is hard, but yeah, especially to be so young. And I think you told me he was a doctor. Were you?
Yes, he was a pediatric doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And was like obviously like an unexpected heart attack. And that's really touched my heart. And it changed, like when this situation happens with any woman, I think, or as well, like on the positive side, like when it's happening in a man as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's one of the hardest time for us, because you never imagine that it would be happen. We know that it's part of the life, mm-hmm. but we never know that, or we never expecting that they would be happening in their early time,
Right.
And it's like when you have a lot of plans, what to do with your life together, it's like something just cut your dreams, cut your plans where you have like created for your future, and it's really like a very, very, very hard time. And I know that probably people that is passing right now with that situation, mm-hmm. and as you mentioned, it doesn't matter what time is happening, mm-hmm. you can have like 20 years, 20 years married with somebody, and I think the sensation that how you feeling is
right.
the same thing.
Yeah. So now you're a young mom with a son that you're trying to raise. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, was a really like challenging. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of challenge to a woman to, as you mentioned, like you have experience with your mom, and you know exactly like how hard it is for a woman to
right.
have to go out to work and take and put away how you feeling in that time, because it's like in some point you have to wake up and say, okay, I know that I have this, I suffer, I know that this is the situation, but I have a kid, and he's just depend of me, and I need to do something, because it's not anymore like I'm just thinking of myself, it's thinking about him.
Right.
And I think that, thanks God that I have him in my side. This is probably he gave me like all that energy,
The motivation,
to go out.
Right.
And I remember that I started like working and in a daycare, as a just like a helping in one of the rooms, but actually a year later I be the director for that daycare.
Oh, wow.
Yes, was very like a challenging, but I was like at the first actually working for that one is when I'm start like working in the municipal or the county daycare, and very when I'm starting my early career.
Okay.
Yes.
So, how did you actually come from Mexico to the States?
Well, this is a very, very good question. Well, I was in that time. Let me go back a little bit,
okay.
Just to tell you all the old story about this. I was working at that time in the government side and with a congressman, and well, I come here for my husband that I get married now, and he was working in one of the healthcare institutions in East Texas, and some of the co-workers and doctors, nurses, they have the initiative to help is orphanage in Mexico.
Okay.
And well, when they provide like some toys and stuff like clothes and other things that just for helping that orphanage. And well, when that group finally arrived to the border in Laredo, they didn't have any documentation to support or to prove that they're going with all this stuff to that orphanage. The person that they was contact is like the director, the orphanage director. He's actually my friend, but he said that, and they have the contact of him, and well, he told me when they arrived to the border with the customs, and they say no, you cannot go to Mexico again because you don't have any documentation to prove that. The orphanage director, he called me to the office and say, hey, Judith, we have this issue, and well, fortunately, I have that that connection to call directly with in that time with the secretary of the custom border, yes, and well, he facilitated that they can come to Mexico. And
so you didn't know at the time you were working on getting your husband in there to meet your husband that you didn't know was going to be your husband.
Yes, yes, and well, I never expecting that kind of group they will be arrived to my office, and well, they did, and just to say thank you, and well, that's something that sometimes I comment with my husband that is something to me is like something funny because he one of the leaders for the group, they say that he wants to pray for me, and when he started to praying for me, he mentioned about that that thank you for his family and his husband, and that orphanage directors say, oh no, she is not married. And my husband, he say that he feels something in his heart. He say that, wow, like he feel like that connection. And well, after that, I think like weeks later, we continue like talking, and well, after that, we probably after some communication and driving back and forth, and he comes to visit Mexico. I came to visit in Dallas, and 4 months later, we was like getting married.
Wow. That's a great story. It's those that they call love at first sight. So,
yes.
And you've been married now for how long?
For 18 years.
Wow, it doesn't seem like it was that long. Because actually, your husband and I was leaving the city that you were moving to, and we worked at hospitals across the street from each other. And so he had contacted me about us meeting each other so we could maybe borrow, things from each other's hospital, and we'd know who each other were. So I was like, God, I wish he had been there at the beginning of the time that I was there, because I thought this is a great guy. So when he told me that he was getting married and I met you, I was like, yeah, I can see it been love at first sight, because I thought you were just as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside. So
thank you.
I'm really happy that the two of you were able to find each other. So you met this wonderful man. You come to the States, and so tell me a little bit about that, moving from there to here.
That was very, very challenging to me when I arrived to U.S. because I come from a family that we are very close. Our culture is, always like a visited every Sunday, all the family spend time all together. And when I'm right here, well, it's just my husband and I. We don't have any more like the bunch of family around us. I'm starting like this is one of the first things that I start to have a challenge. But a part of that is, as an immigrant, I was passing a some period just for you to have the work permit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, and it's like most of the time they take like the 3 to 6 months till this happens. But as I mentioned before, I was very independent person that always I don't like to be just sit and waiting and to see what's going on with as the days passing.
Right.
And well, to me it was very like hard when I arrived and say, I was thinking, as I mentioned to you, like I was thinking that the same job that I was doing for a long time, working with a congressman, doing a lot of things in Mexico, I was thinking that, oh wow, I just have already like experience. I have like a great curriculum that it would be so easy just to go straight and to the White House. I was thinking, I was already like imagine that I would create like that I will be involved immediately. As soon as I arrive here, I was thinking that I would go in, I will walk in, and I would say, hey, I'm Judith, I'm ready to work. The reality is totally different. Yeah. Because starting like that, I didn't know English, I didn't know the language, I didn't know the culture, because it's totally different, the culture that we live here. And a part of that, I have to wait for 6 long months just to have a job. And to me, it was a very surprise because I don't know why I didn't like thinking about that. I say, what now? What is next? What I have to do? And again, like as mentioned before, in our country, in Mexico, we have like that you know that probably you walking out to your home and you say hi to your neighbor. You know everybody. You know everybody next to you, the person that is walking every day for the same time. You know each other. And here's different. And when I'm right here, like I just walking out to my home and see that nobody is there. Everybody's working, everybody involved in their life and their job. And it's very like observing the time. It's so different. And then, I didn't want to stay at home the whole day waiting for my husband. And I remember that I finished with my house, the housekeeping and doing all this stuff like as a housewife. And then I say, well, I have to do something. And I remember that I'm going to start walking around to know all the neighbors. And I'm going to write to one of the church that is close to my neighborhood. And I remember talking with the pastor as, honestly, I was used, like, in that time we have a BlackBerry. And I used the BlackBerry and trying to put like in Spanish how to do just for it translate to him, because I didn't know how to express myself that I'm looking for a job and I'm looking for doing something to spend time something. And I'm enrolled like a volunteer to helping in the church, just like a clean, like a making the housekeeping things in the church. And I was being there every Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays clean just to be ready for the service that was on Wednesdays night, and Thursdays to be ready for Fridays, because the Fridays they serve to Domino Club for the 70s and up. Like it's a senior club that they assist every Friday just to play dominoes or just for the engagement each other's.
You said 70 and up?
Yes, 70 and up. 70 and up. And it's one of the best memories that I have when I'm right here, because I learned a lot about Dan. And actually they give me like the opportunity to know another old ladies that they was living alone, that they asking for help, but I think that we help each other, because I know that I helping them probably to do some things related with housekeeping in their home, but most of the time they asking me to sit next to me. Let's go to see the TV. Let's go to see this show, or let's go out to order some food. Sometimes I remember that we did a makeup time just for them, just for put some makeup, or we did like a manicure, but it's just for fun. And I think
Judith, hold that thought. We're going to take a break for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Do you have a powerful story of perseverance? Have you triumphed over pain and want to share your story with the world? We're looking for inspiring guests to join us on the Prevailing Through Pain podcast. Head over to karencherry.me/guest. Fill out the form and let us know your story. Your voice could be the one to inspire others. Your experience could be the one to lift up someone else. Go to karencherry.me/guest.
All right, and we're back. So you were saying playing makeup date with the seniors at the church,
and after that we started like with a program that the preacher he started, and that has touched my heart, and as well I think that he always said that I helping them too much, but I think that he never realized that they are helping me. Because I was feeling like that I'm still be as a person, like important as a person. I feel value. I feel that for some reason God bring me to this country, and I'm starting to say, wow, I'm very blessed, right, to be here. And because probably if I didn't have that chance, that opportunity, I never meet that's old ladies in that community that really they teach me. They teach me too much. They show me like the real love.
Yeah.
and well, we start to make food, a lunch every day, and we divide in 3-4 persons just to spread around to the neighborhood, because we walk in, and I know the preacher, he has a little list to know where is living like seniors, and we start to provide them every day one plate of food, and we meet at 10 a.m. every day. We prepare like a hot homemade food, and we create like a little plate, and we 11, everybody is knocking the door for that people, that senior, just for provide some of food and some of love as well.
I want to comment on something that you said when you said the preacher said you were giving too much of your time to the ladies, and where you said that they were giving a lot of their time to you. You were learning from them. I think so many times we miss out on the blessings of life because we don't stop to see the value in other people. And where to him, it was you giving all your time to them, but to you, you were giving your time, but you were also receiving, from them. So I think that's a very valuable lesson that, a lot of people can learn in life. Sometimes stuff is right there, our blessings are right there, but we miss them because we're so busy trying to see what there is for us that we don't realize that was our blessing and we missed it.
And actually, I invite you that I know that I have the blessing to know your mom, but I invite you to and know that the people that is looking at us today, that take a time for listening. They have a wonderful stories. They have a wonderful inspirations, so that they can support you and giving you like a lot of wisdom that probably you never received, that you didn't find in any book, because they already they walking in this like before us. And really, it's amazing. To me, I can spend probably like a lot of time just listening, because they have a great inspirations, like stories about their life.
Yeah, I agree. So how did you get in healthcare?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Yes. Well, you know that I was my husband, he, as I mentioned before, he was one of the leaders working in the healthcare. And I saw his passion about, in this career. And I remember that one day talking with him about what I would like to do, in the life. And he mentioned that probably could be good to me if I can explore, right? And I said, just try and to see, probably you will like it. Probably it's not the same, because I didn't know nothing about what he's doing. And well, I'm starting in the supply chain career, and I'm starting the entry level. I was a material tech in supply chain, and I'm starting to the bottom, just to know everything, to counting and count boxes and how to delivery supplies to the floors and the system and the healthcare. But this is how we will start in the beginning. And well, when I'm start to see how fascination is the supply chain world, and I'm saying, wow, I never imagined that this is very interesting, because again, it's coming back to probably to my roots about what I saw with my dad. Is helping. It's help people. And I think supply chain as well to another things in the healthcare. Everything at the end of the day, everything is related with helping people.
Yeah.
It's caring, and it's taking care of them in a different ways. And well, to me, I'm start to learn more about it because I'm very passionate person when I want to do something. And I don't want to be like just to know a little bit. No, I would like really to emerge and involve and learn and looking for a different tools and talking with a different people just to know how they're doing, how can I do just to do my best.
Right.
Because I think that to me, I don't want to give in just a little of me. I would like to be complete of me. Right. And well, I'm a star like in the entry level, and they give me the chance to know about.
Let me ask you this too, because I remember you said coming here and trying to learn English and trying to get a job. So how challenging was that? I feel that people can be so rude, and that's just my experience. I remember working at a hospital where there were a bunch of employees in the department from another country. And I was the interim director. And I remember the OR calling me upstairs, fussing, saying they didn't want certain people answering phones because they couldn't understand them. Excuse me. And I thought, how rude, because I felt the person was clear. Yeah, I felt it was discrimination on the person that was on the receiving end. Did you ever experience, and I hope not, anything in your career with trying to work your way, into a new country, learning to try to speak as fluent as you could?
Yeah, I think that we have a different challenges, but obviously, like when you don't know, or when you don't know the English, like as a professional, it's not your first language.
Right.
Obviously, you have a lot of barriers and a lot of issues because you're trying to explain them. And something that is really important to emphasize in this. Sometimes the people, and this is how I'm feeling, because the thing that I don't have speak English well, it's not means that I'm not smart.
Right.
Because it's two different things.
Two totally different things.
And sometimes the people catalog or even put stickers on yourself and put it like a little note. Oh, no.
They because just disregard.
Yeah, because it's a they discriminate us. Discrimination to us because we don't speak English. But that one is nothing related how we development, like how is or how we do in our job, right? Because it's two different things. And
no, I totally agree.
And actually, I remember that I'm using most of the time, and always I asking for permission because, as you know, in the buildings and the organizations on the hospital, sometimes they are not able to use your phone in your work areas, right? But always I'm asking to permission because when I have some struggles to pronounce, because sometimes I have in my mind I have the entire sentence, but sometimes it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, right.
Right? And I remember that when somebody don't understand me, what I'm saying, say, I can type. Or I'm asking and say, can I use a little bit of my phone? Just I need to put in Google, just for that, put what I want to say, just for the person listens. And I honestly, many times I did. I did with the CEOs. I speak with the CFOs using my phone. And we have this kind of conversation, and I don't feel like embarrassed to say that because I feel proud that I have to looking for the different tool that we have right now just to communicate with others.
But where you said that you aren't embarrassed, so many times what we might feel is a weakness to us is a strength to someone else, because what they said to them is you knew you were qualified to be in the room. You knew what you brought to the table. You needed to figure out whatever tool that was to get them to understand what it was that you were saying to them. And this is my funny story in trying to get into at the director position that I had at the hospital across the street from where I met your husband. I remember I had been at this one job for 15 years, and then I had the opportunity, this was in Oklahoma, to fly to Texas to interview for a director position, right? And I hadn't interviewed in all these years, so I was nervous. I flew in late at night, and I had a black suit on, black shoes. And I guess I hadn't stayed in a hotel because I didn't realize that they didn't have a light, in the ceiling. They had the lamps. So I got dressed the next morning, and I brought a navy blue suit, navy blue pumps to go for my interview. I'm so nervous. I'm in this room with all these doctors and my vice president, the president of, surgical services. They were asking me questions, and I was answering these questions, and I'm feeling really good because I felt like I was answering these questions intelligently, right? Mm-hmm. And I crossed my leg and I leaned back because I'm really comfortable now, right? And I looked down and I saw a black shoe. Remember, I told you I put a navy blue suit on and my navy blue shoes for this interview. So I looked down like this, and I had a blue shoe on this foot and a black shoe on this foot. And I'm thinking, wow. Oh my God, if they see so now I'm trying to uncross my leg because I'm thinking I have and I couldn't. It was like the room was spinning, and it was like their mouths were going blah, blah, because I couldn't get out of my head. Mm-hmm. I have on shoes that don't match. So I stopped the interview and I said, I'm sorry, getting dressed in a dimly lit hotel room. I put on a black pump and a blue pump. So I just want you to know that I know my colors. It was just dark in the room. And it was so quiet for a moment. And then they just all started laughing. So when I was getting ready to catch the flight back home, I was talking to my sister. She said, how did the interview go? And I said, they probably thought, this idiot, she can't even put the right shoes on. Well, I got hired for that job because I was told that I wasn't afraid to address a problem. So I say that to you, that where, someone else may have been embarrassed to go in the room or say, I just don't feel comfortable, I feel awkward. To them, you were saying, I want to communicate to let you know I know what I know, and have a way I communicate that to you. I need for you to understand. And so I think that's a beautiful story.
Yes, that always sometimes I make some comments with my coworkers because one of the famous Latinas artists, she always say that if you don't know how smart I'm in Spanish, and always sometimes we make with this laughing we're laughing about this kind of stories, right? But now Karen, when I saw all the steps that I have to walk in, all the things that I have to do just to be where am I, and I feel proud of myself.
Oh, you should be.
Because I will be the same person, every person, we have our own challenges, mm-hmm. barriers, struggle times, everything. We have a passing for many, many situations that probably you cannot imagine how many things we have to pass in just to be where am I right now. But this is not the end because I have my own plans. I know where I go. Mm-hmm. And this is just probably I'm enjoy every time. Every time that I have a step and I complete one step, I'm enjoy. I really celebrate. But then
ready to move to the next.
To the next, right? And going back with as you mentioned about the different barriers that we have, or sometimes that we have not uncomfortable for not speaking probably languages they speak in English. And I know that probably another people for a different countries, they have the same situation. It's not just from my country, but I think that another people, they have their own struggles, their own issues, related with that. But I think, and I'm encouraging them that they don't stop. be unstoppable.
Be unstoppable.
Like that this no don't mark your life. Like you have to still going. Keep walking, keep going where you're going to go. Like, I mean, you have already a plan, and I think this is very important, just to know where you want to go in the beginning, you know, because we have to go with that direction. You need to put in your list and say, okay, I want to see, you know, in 3 years, in 5 years, I want to be here. What I have to do. What is my plan? What is the steps that I had to take? And prepare yourself. I think that we have in a blessed country that they provide everything that you want. Yeah. You wanna learn English? We have a lot of institution, organization, non-profit organization that they offer like a free classes, English classes. Okay. And it's a free. You can go there, the only thing you have to do is enroll. And they have 3 different schedules, just so you don't fit in this in the morning, you can go in the afternoon, you can go at night.
Oh, that's good enough.
They have a child care access as well, because if you're a mom, you're a dad, and you don't have chance where you have to put your kids there, they are available for helping with your kids, just for you learning a second language. Yeah. And I think and as well, like these kind of tools, you have a lot of free tools around you, you know, in the city, and in many schools they have offer like classes at 9 as well. Or if you want, you can enroll like directly as I did. I'm enrolled directly with Tyler Junior College. Okay. And I take some English classes there. And this helping me, you know, to a little bit obviously I'm entering in 0 level, no 1 level, and the level 0, that is just to the beginning, right, to learn about this new language, and well, I'm still here.
Yeah, well, I applaud you, because I too feel like, you know, there's so many resources out there, and sometimes we just don't know where to look for resources, but to not look is not an answer. And so that, I mean, your story is so encouraging. And I love where you said you reach this one, you go to the next. Because I always tell people, as a matter of fact, my VP in Tyler asked me what was next. Well, I had just gotten there. And so I'm thinking, is he trying to get rid of me? Is he telling me I'm not going to make it? But he told me, every time you start a new job or a new whatever that is, you should start looking for your next, because that's what keeps you, you know, keep you moving. And I never forgot that. And so after that, it was always, okay, I reached this. What's my next? What's my next? And I mean, you know, even today, I'm retired, but I'm still, you know, looking for that next, because I feel like as long as we have breath, as long as we're able to be a support, you know, for someone else, to be of service, that's what it's all about. That's what keeps the world good. Because, I mean, we know there's so much negativity out there. So
Absolutely.
what can we do to keep the world good?
We need to work in what legacy we want to leave, right?
What legacy we want to leave. I love that.
The legacy. And I think that, as you mentioned, this is why we are not stopped. We're always looking for what is the next thing to do, because we know that we have the chance, the opportunity to help in others. And I had chance, as I mentioned, I'm being an entry level. After that, I be inventory analyst. After that, I be value analysis. After that, customer service supervisor. Wow. And when I was in the customer service supervisor, I think it's one of the time that I enjoy a lot, because it's when I start to have like people under me, that I have a group, a team. And I love to call more like a team, because it's really team.
Right, I agree.
And, you know, and the chance to helping them to grow as well. I remember that I have conversation with some of the team members and say that I would like to really thinking about what they want to do in their life, because I think that I understand that everybody we have money to provide and to pay bills, but thinking about you, What do you want to do in your life? What really you want to do in this world? What do you want to do? And I remember that we make a lot of exercise just to find like ourselves what really you want to do, and helping with, as you mentioned, like with giving resources, giving guidance,
Right.
trying to go to this kind of group that is a mentorship program, just for they helping you to find your path. What is the way? Are you want to look in like in that position for entire life? I don't think so. You are so smart. I don't want that you be there. And always they say, Judith, but how can we do this? I say, well, if I can do, you can do as well. I think that everybody, we have the same opportunities. It's just we want to make a determination and say, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And trying to get people that they have the same vision like you, just for helping each others. And this is something that I always I'm trying to looking around me where I want to go. If I want to go like in this way, okay, maintain with this kind. But if I'm not, my vision is more above and beyond, always to be, and I think that way we're giving us opportunity to help others. Again, always I'm going back with with my roots, with my dad and my mom, how they teaching me and how I grew up with it. I'm raised with them, and that always looking for giving a smile to somebody, giving a support somebody that probably that day you can change their life.
Yeah.
And we never know.
Yeah, and that's so interesting, because sometimes just a smile, like you said, or hello, how are you, can even save someone's life. I remember I was working in Seattle, Washington, and I went downtown to get a manicure and a pedicure. It was a really pretty day. And when I walked in there, I saw this young lady. She was so pretty. She looked like she was from the islands or something. And I was thinking, when I saw her, I thought, gosh, she's beautiful. But when I sat down and I looked at her again, she just looked so empty. She looked so hollow. And I just kept trying not to look at her, but I thought, this young lady looks like she's hurting. And so when I got ready to leave, because I left before she did, and I told the people, I said, I want to pay for her manicure, or whatever she's getting done, because she was doing a pedicure. I didn't know if she was getting everything done, but I said, I want to pay for her. And so I said, don't tell her who paid for it. Well, she wouldn't have known me anyway, but I didn't want, I just wanted, when she finished, I said, just tell her that her bill is paid in full. It was such a pretty day. I was walking around window shopping, and then I went into a Walgreens. I was getting a ginger ale that I was going to take back to the place I was staying before I turned in. I was walking into the store, and she was coming out, and I remember thinking, that's that young lady, and I just moved my eyes real quick. She looked at me and she grabbed me, and I was thinking, oh God, they told her. But she said, I need to tell you something. We're standing in the doorway, and she's crying. So I just kind of moved us from the doorway. She said that her family was very poor, and they put her on this ship to work so she could provide money for her family. And she said her parents always told her about this good God, how good God was. But she said, if God was so good, this is what she said that morning, why would he take her away from her family? And people were so mean. And she said her intention was to wait for everybody to get off the ship. She was going to hang herself. She said she told this God, if you can show me one person that is kind, I'll continue to live. Wow. So she said she got off the ship, and then she said, God showed me love because of you, and it just gave me these chills, because I felt I was being obedient to, and I was supposed to be there at the time that I was there, and that's something that for me, for the rest of my life, from that moment on, I'm always trying to be in tune to somebody else. Yes. Somebody that looks sad, even if it's to give them a hug, to say hello, are you okay? and so I just love the love that your dad showed you early on, and that you continue to pay it forward. And I'm a true believer that we're blessed to be a blessing, and you'll always be blessed, even when you're not trying to be. It's just that's what you put out there, and that's what you'll always receive. But I want you to look at the camera and tell some young person that is struggling, whether it's through the loss of a loved one or whether it's just trying to figure out, how to. Can you just tell them some words of encouragement?
I'm just trying to, I'm trying to process the entire question about this.
So pretty much it's what I'm just saying, some words of encouragement for someone, some young person that.
I'm saying that.
Or some hurting person.
Yes, I'm just saying that, you have all the opportunities. You have a bunch of opportunities, and what do you want to do in your life? It doesn't matter what you want to do, you want to proceed in your career. Be the best person. Be the best. And if you want to do, always, and it's something that I'm talking with my two sons, that we talk, and my husband and I with them, and say, you want to do, housekeeping. Do the best housekeeping.
Do the best. Mm-hmm.
Go and go to the school and take that degree that you are the best housekeeper, but do it. Do your best. Yeah. And try always to be genuine. Be you.
Be genuine. Mm-hmm.
Be genuine. Be you. Don't try to change your personality for nobody else.
Yeah.
You be you. Follow your feelings. And be the best.
That's beautiful. I agree. So thank you so much for doing the podcast. And I think I try to tell you when I see you on LinkedIn and whatever, how proud I am of you, because I remember, like I said, I remember meeting you early on, and every time I see you, you have that beautiful smile, you have that big hug, and that's even with the pictures that I see you on LinkedIn. You're hugging somebody, you're smiling. So I know your family is extremely proud of you, and I just want you to know someone outside of your family is equally as proud. So keep shining.
Can you give me a chance to say something in Spanish for the community that will listen to you?
Please.
A todos mis amigos latinos, primeramente, sigan luchando, no pierdan de vista sus sueños. Estamos en un país de oportunidades donde tenemos muchas herramientas para poder seguir adelante. Juntos hacemos la diferencia en este país. Gracias por vernos. Gracias, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you.